just want to take a minute and thank everyone that wrote me such wonderful comments over the last week or so. I always write down everybody's names, and after I thank them on my channel, I put a little check mark. And you know, most of the time I do write down the names at the beginning of my next video, but there were a total of 103 comments. And sometimes when I have written or typed in all the names, then when I go to upload the video, they're gone. So then I have to do it again. So I'm just showing you everybody's name here. I appreciate each and every person that wrote a comment. Please keep them coming. They just bring me so much joy. And I will acknowledge each of you as you comment. And so we'll proceed with the video from this point on. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. So I wanted to show you real quick the inspiration for this project. And like I said, back in my card making days, I kept a file of all the cards that I had made, how to do it, measurements, pictures of them. I mean, these are all the different cards that I made. Look at this with the light, the lighthouse. I did a truck too with the light in there. So anyway, this was my reference for that. But I want to show you that the box I made and the cards for it. Sorry about that. So here is the instructions for that. Now, on this box here, I did 7.5 by 7.5. I'm going to pull you in a little bit closer. I made this for my sister. Her name is Sherry. It was a Constantina folded box. So here's another one where the box is completely closed. This is the back, and this is it opened up. I had made this for a gal. Her name was Brandon. She's a co-worker that I work with, but I want to show you something that I was pretty proud of. So I wanted to just do a little insert here to show you this stamp. So this is the stamp. It doesn't show any of that detail with the hair. So like I said, I was very proud of myself with the coloring of that. This is just a very plain stamp, and I colored the stamp following Sandy Allnuck's instructions on how to color skin tones and hair. And I really was proud of that and how that turned out. But anyway, that's the inspiration for this box journal. Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to construct a box to hold a journal. And then I'm going to show you how to make a journal to fit specifically into that box. So we are going to start with cardstock that is 110 pounds or 300 GM. This is 8.5 by 11 inches. And as you can see, when I kind of hold it and touch it, it is pretty thick cardstock. So I'm going to start by taking 2 sheets. I'm going to dip them in coffee to coffee stain them because these are white. So I'm going to age them by just dipping them in coffee and then letting them dry. So my 110-pound cardstock that I just dipped in coffee and dried is ready to go. And you can see it's very sturdy, so it's going to make a nice sturdy box. So you need one piece of 8.5 by 8.5, and then you need another piece that is 8 7/16. Now, I have this ruler here, and I'm going to show you how to cut it. It's very easy. It's just one tick mark before the 1/2 inch mark. So here we have the 8. There's my 1/2 inch. So 8 7/16 would just be one small little tick mark before the 8.5. And that is going to give you the measurement that you need for the box lid to fit in it. So we're going to rotate it, and we're going to cut the other side because this is an 8.5 sheet of paper, so it's going to be kind of close, just a sliver we need to take off, but just the tick mark before the 1/2 inch mark. And that's it right there. Okay, so that's our measurements. Then the next thing you're going to do is take your scoreboard, and you're going to score 1.5 inches on all 4 sides. So this is our 8.5 inch piece, and we're going to score it at 1.5. So there's our 1 mark, and there's our 1/2 mark. So butt it up against the edge and score. Rotate it, score again. And you're going to do that on all 4 sides. Okay, we're going to set that aside. Then we're going to take the smaller one, but you're going to score it at exactly the same score line, 1.5 inches. And again, you're going to do that on all 4 sides. So all 4 sides on both are scored. Then you're going to take your bone folder, and you're just going to fold and crease those score lines. Now the kits that I'm going to use for this project are all from Rachel at Roxy Creations. I'm going to use her decorated antique letters kit, the French chateau background pages, the Italian Renaissance journal pages kit, and the Renaissance ephemera kit. This is going to make for a really nice, strong box. Okay, now that we've scored all of those, what you're going to do is take your scissors and cut up on each of those score lines just up to the next score line. So you're going to actually have 2 little flaps like that, okay? And then you're going to just take a small little wedge off. That helps with the folding in. I'm trying to get that one out of the way so you guys can see. So all you're going to do is just snip off a little wedge. See how that tiny little wedge is there? And we're going to do the same thing over here. Okay, so you have those sides. Then you're going to turn it around to where these are at the top, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. Cut up to that score line, stop, this score line, stop, and a small little wedge. Okay, so you have these 2 ends and these 2 ends that are cut. You're going to take your second piece and do exactly the same thing. I may have told you in one of my previous videos that prior to being a journal maker, I was a card maker, and I did that for many years and did tutorials on those. And as I think about what I want to bring you to from my channel is, again, educational things that you can learn, because I want to teach you something. So I went through my past tutorials and I saw this and thought it would be good for a journal. And that's going to form your box. So all you have to do is bring in the middle or the tabs into the inside there, and that forms a 90-degree angle, and that is your box. And then all you have to do is glue them down. So I'm going to bring that one forward. I'm going to take a little bit of glue and just bring it forward, making sure I have a nice 90-degree angle. See how that is? And hold that down. Fold that one in, do the exact same thing, and we're going to do that on both boxes. Haha, so I was just looking at the video as I'm doing a voiceover, and I noticed my fingernails look dirty underneath them. Well, I was eating blueberries and blackberries last night, so that's the staining you see underneath my fingernails. They're not actually dirty. Now here's our 2 halves. And because we cut that one just a little smidge smaller than the other one, this box just fits beautifully together. See, just you can't be any more perfect than that. Okay, so we're going to decorate them, and we're also going to snip a couple of notches so it's easier to get the box apart, because right now it's a little bit difficult. Then the next thing you need to do is cover the outside, the inside of the box. And what you need is 16 pieces of paper. And I, again, have pulled these from Rachel's kit. And you need 5, the measurement to be 5 3/8 by 1 3/8. And again, don't let that 3/8 goof you up. It is only between the 1/4 and the 1/2. So just that bigger mark between your 1/4 inch mark and your 1/2 inch mark. So again, you need them to be 5 3/8 by 1 3/8, and then that will give you the exact measurement. And it's pretty easy to do. You just take them, put your glue on the back of them. You can also, if you want to, distress them a little bit, but you're not going to see them a lot. And let's see, let's turn this one like this. And then with this measurement that I gave you, you're not going to see very much of the outside of the box. A little bit here on the corner, but we're going to solve that by putting some lace there. So just go ahead and glue all your sides. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put the camera on pause while I do that, and then I will be right back. Now that I've glued the outside and the inside of each of the box, top and bottom, you need 4 images to go on the inside and the top and bottom side. So what I've done is I've done one plain one for the bottom of the box, and then I've done 3 of Rachel's images from the Renaissance kit to go on the top inside of both boxes and the very top of the box. And in my last one, I used this image here. So I think with this other box, I'm going to use this image here. So the other thing you need to do is put your box together so you can see how it goes. Okay, so now I know that fits in there like that. And what you want to do is then notch a little area here, and this is after you have put on the side, so that when you have your box closed, and I'm going to close it here. If I set it on the table, it might be a little bit easier. There you go. So when you have your box, it's easy to pull it open because you just put your thumb and your other finger right here, and you're able to hold on to it. My hand is too small to grab a hold of the entire box, but it does give you something to hold on to. It's a tight fit, which is good because then the box top and bottom won't fall off. So we have our box here, and I'm going to just grab a circle punch. I think I'm just going to use my 1 1/4 inch. Now, you have to make sure you remember which is the top and which is the bottom. So what I do is I keep the box kind of together, then I lift it up and I know I need to put a punch here in the center on this side. And then on the opposite side. Then that way, when I have my box together, I've got that little notched area so that I can grab a hold of it. So let's go ahead and start gluing. We know this is the bottom. I will go ahead and glue that on there. Then I will glue the top image, which will be here. And then I will glue these two images on the inside, and I'll be back with you then. So now I have the tops and bottoms all glued down, and I want to try something with this top. I've done it before in a video, but I want to again see how it turns out. So we have this image of this young lady, and because I don't want to ruin it because it's already glued down, I have taken another print of the image, and I'm going to use some of this velvet powder to make her dress look velvety. And what I've done before is I just take some of my Beacon's 3-in-1 glue because it is not water soluble. It's a solvent and it won't warp my paper. And I just add a little bit of glue all over where the outfit is. Sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't worked. So we'll just give it a try here. So I thought I would give you an update on my little community hospital that I work at. So far, we are not closing. We apparently have enough money to stay open until the end of the summer. So at present, I have a job at least until the first part of September. The other thing is a lovely lady by the name of, let me find it. Sorry, I should have had that. But anyway, a gal who may live in Mexico. She needs to tell me. Christina Lopez. She wrote a comment wishing that I had subtitles for my videos. So, Christina, I'm going to try to do that for you. Try to figure out how to do that. The other thing is I've had comments in French and Italian. Then I use Google Translate to see what they wrote, and then I answer them back. So I will try those languages also. And then I'm just going to take this powder and dump it on there and let it dry. We'll see what happens. It's not quite the right color, but we'll see. And where there isn't any glue, I will be able to brush it off. And then what I've done in the past is just kind of press it down so it adheres to that glue. And we'll just give it a try and see how it turns out. Oh, it's kind of turning out. Yeah. Yeah, do you see that? Once it dries. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to let that sit and dry for a minute, and then I'll be back with you guys. Now, since the dress worked out so well, I'm going to try to do this black part that has a little velvet here. But I want to show you these velvet powders that I got off of Amazon, and I will link them for you. But I'm going to flip this around because I'm going to put my glue here. Then I'm going to put a little bit of the powder, and I think I might just grab a spoon real quick to put that on. So this is that little spoon that I was talking about. So let's just add a little bit of this glue where the black is. I'm taking care of Finn right now. I've got him for almost a whole week. I'm so excited. Can't remember if I told you guys, but that dog is so spoiled. I even put in a doggy door for him. So when I babysit him, he can go in and out as he pleases. Okay. I think that's good. And like I said, I've got it tipped up. This is hard. I don't want it to go on her dress, really. I may be redoing this if I mess it up. I don't know if the spoon is really helping. We'll see. Finn, it's okay. If you heard before, I had the door open and there was birds. Okay. Just gonna press that down. Like I said, it shouldn't stick where there's no, is there, I can't remember if I put any up here, where there isn't any glue. Okay, let's just see. It didn't stay as quite as good as the previous, so I think I need to put just a tiny bit more glue. And I'm going to bring it up to me so I can actually see really good. We're just going to go for it. Okay, I think that looks okay. I think I need just a tiny bit up here in this little corner here. I know this is very fiddly, but I like fiddly. I like details. The key, I guess, is to make sure to only get glue where you want it to go. I think that came out pretty good. Yeah, that looks good. I wanted to show you a couple of other things that I've done. One is I've taken some Nuvo drops and I went all along there and added them. And then this part right here is just a little piece of ribbon. Then this jewel right there is from Stampin' Up, and it's called Petal Pink, and there's a little diamond shape. And then this little pearl here I got from Hobby Lobby, Park Lane. Then I also took some Stampin' Up Pearlized Enamel Effects White, because she's holding like a rosary, and I put just some little dots there. And then what I thought I would do is come in and add a little bit to her necklace. And a good way to do that is just put a little bit of your Nuvo drops on a mat, and then come in with a needle and pick it up and lay it down. That way you get a really nice fine line. And I know you can barely see it, but when you take a quick look at the whole image, you're going to see that there's something special about it. And there's a little twirly thing over here, and I'm going to try to come in and bring that in. I didn't do a very good job, so what I do is I just come in with my pen and wipe it up. But I did get some on her necklace there. I think there's just a little bit more here that can come up. Yeah, just like that. There we go. I think that's going to be it for a minute there. So for her kind of veil thing there, it is kind of a goldish color, and all I have is this little bit of a lace. So I'm going to try something. I have this gold acrylic paint that I'm going to thin down. With some water and try to dye that. We'll see. It may work, it may not. Well, it's definitely gold. And if not, I can put it in a bottle and use it for splatters. Actually, it may just work. So what I'm going to do is just take it and put it on here, rub it on. It looks like it's changing it a little bit. So I'll finish this up. We will leave it to dry and see what happens. Well, I believe my dyeing did work. And if you look real close, it looks like it's even got a little patina look to it. So it is old looking. So what I do sometimes to attach this kind of a thing, I bring my image in and I make a little slit with a scalpel just to be able to slide it underneath there. And then I trim it off if I need to. So I'm just going to make a little cut here. I think I'm going to go just a little bit more over here. So I'm going to slide that scalpel in there and just bring it over just a tiny bit. There. And then, without tearing my paper, hopefully, I just lift that up. Let's see, where is it? Now it doesn't even feel like I did one, but I know I did. I think I need to go a little bit more this way. And sometimes what I've had to do is cut out a section so that the fabric has an area to slide through. There. Let's see about that. It is tricky because you don't want to tear your paper any more than what you've cut it as. I'll lay that there and then just use my pokey tool and try to poke it through. There we go. It's going there. There. Almost. I want to get it through enough. There we go, so I can pull it the rest of the way through. Okay. Oh, and I pulled it right back out. Okay, there we go. Now, once I have it here, okay, I think that's pretty good. Then I can manipulate this to kind of go underneath. So what I'm going to do is fiddle with this a little bit. I don't want to cover up the jewels that I've put along here. So what I will do though to secure this so this does not come out is I just take a piece of Scotch tape and adhere that to the back. And then as I go and manipulate it around and move it, and I might even then bring in, see, I just want to tuck that in, bring in, oh yeah, that's looking good. I may bring in another piece of this over it to cover it. So I'll be back with you after I fiddle with that a little bit. So I finished decorating the box top, and I think I said in the last little part of the video that I filmed is I was going to take a little bit more of that ribbon and glue it across there so it hid the place where I put this lace in, and then I kind of tucked it back over this way, added just a tiny bit of glue so it wouldn't impede that beading there. And then I took some lace, and this is what it looks like. I cut it. This is just gorgeous lace. I'm not sure where I bought it, but I laid it across there, glued it, and then brought it over the side so it also covers that. Then I took some of this lace, and I glued it over the top of it just to bring out that gold. And then down this side, this is some lace that I glued down, and it's got like some diamonds and some gold. And I did bring that down just a little bit here on this side. Then I had an applique that was kind of bluish in color, and I kept trying to get it to fit here, but it was just a little bit too big, so I kind of cut it down, and I only had just this little piece right here, and I just glued it along here and then on that side there. And when you look at the picture, which is a lovely picture, what a beautiful kit, Rachel. But I think adding these embellishments to that really helped, bring out her face and the jewels and what have you. So I think it came out quite nice. Finn is barking. He wants, I think, some attention. So the box for the journal is complete. My hand is just not big enough to go around the whole thing. But like I said, it fits in there nice and snug. So it won't fall out. There we go. And so on the next Monday, we are going to be working on a journal to fit in there. Now, I've already completed one, and I'm just going to show you real quick. It's the I think it's called a Constantina fold, where it just keeps folding on itself, and then when you reach the end, you're at the other end of the journal, and then you have more pages on the other side. I know we have done an envelope, flip-flop envelope, I think it's what it's called, before, but this is just with Rachel's papers that I did this. So we will be completing a journal, and I'm going to show you how to do this in next Monday's video. So thanks for joining me. I hope you learned something from me, and I will see you guys next Monday. Thanks. Bye-bye.